Hi, I'm the Rick and Rick Turns, and I'm coming to you live, almost live, from Alexandria, Virginia. I've spent the last 3 to 4 weeks moving from Duluth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, here to Alexandria, right outside of DC. You're looking at my new, improved workshop. I've got an entire unfinished basement to work with. Huge amount of space. Really, really great. Except for one thing. It's only got a single outlet in the entire basement. How can people live like that? And the other thing is, it's a rental. I'm only going to be here for a year. I can't just go around throwing in electrical circuits right and left without getting approval from the owner. At the moment, don't have any extra electrical circuits. I'm running off extension cords all over the place. For today's project, I'm going to be making this. This is a Christmas ornament, and it is not too early to start making Christmas ornaments. Now, this Christmas ornament is what we woodturners would call a weed pot. It's quite small, as you can see, about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches. Maximum diameter is maybe 3/4, maybe a little bit less. It's got plastic flowers in it, or plastic and cloth flowers. And then, where you can't really see it too well, I've got a hanger right here in the top. You can either hang the hanger directly on a tree branch on the tree, or you can put a standard Christmas tree thin wire hanger on it. These are glued in place. They're not going to come out. So, it's going to make a very nice Christmas ornament. And I got very high marks on the wife isn't that cute test. And remember, nothing says Christmas like weed. I mean, nothing says Christmas like pot. No, wait. Nothing says Christmas like pot, weed pot. You'd think I was living in Oregon or Colorado or DC. Oh, wait. Alexander's right outside of DC. Doesn't take many materials to make a little weed pot, little Christmas ornament like that. And that's probably self-evident. I'm going to use a little chunk of wood. Now, this is a 1x1, 0x12 when it was sold, I think. I forget what kind of wood this is, and I really hate that, because I like knowing what the wood is. It is a tropical exotic of some sort, bought it at Woodcraft. I've also got a similar stick of Purple Heart that I'll be using for some of my ornaments this year. I really like Purple Heart because it's purple. So in addition to a little piece of wood for wood turning, what else do we need? We need flowers. Okay, that may be a few flowers too many. Yeah, let's go with that. It's still, if you were to stick this in the weed pot, it not only wouldn't hang too well on the tree, but it would look kind of awkward. I clipped these little pieces off of here. If you're going to make these and you're looking for flowers, be sure and pick something that has small stems like that you can cut off with your wire cutters or whatever. The other thing needed is just a little bit of craft wire. Now, this craft wire is 16 gauge, brass colored. It's called zebra wire, but I have been told that no zebras were harmed in the making of this wire, which is always a relief. The zebra wire makes the primary hanger on this right here. It doesn't show too well, and it's not supposed to. I want it to be hidden by the flowers. Then you can either hang that on the Christmas tree branch, or what I consider more likely, more reasonable, is to take a standard Christmas tree ornament hanger, little wire thing, you can hardly see it when it's on the tree, and just hook it on there and hang it down. So you'll end up with your little flower vase and flowers hanging down free of anything on the tree. You're also going to need some epoxy, and the epoxy is used to put those flowers and that wire solid down into the hole that gets drilled into the weed pot there, so that it's not going to come out. So, quick and easy project, not many materials. Let's get going. I've got about a 3-inch piece by 1-inch square piece of exotic hardwood right here. I've got about a 1/2 inch clamped in the jaws of the chuck right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is just bring it down to round. And for that work, I'm going to use a 1-inch skew chisel. And so I've got about, I don't know, 2 inches, 2.5 inches clear wood here to work with. it's not going to be that long. We are down to round. Okay, time to pull back the tailstock. I'm going to be cutting what I consider to be the perfect vase, flower vase shape right here. This is probably my favorite flower vase shape, and it's kind of a classic shape, I think. Now we take it, put it up here. You can see it's a little over 1 inch long, something like that. I like the height, I like the width, so I'm going to make this one same as this one. And the cut out of the base will be right about there. Then I'll shape it just like that. All right, that marks the bottom. You want to be just a little bit careful on turning this edge up here. I've had them break off there, even though I thought I was being fairly gentle with it. And of course, if it breaks off, it's liable to mess up the whole piece, and wow, then you get that huge chunk of hardwood wasted. First decision point. You've got the basic shape here. Is it too fat, or is this just a bigger vase? It's too fat. Okay. Still a little too fat, I think. Okay, that's a little bit chunkier than the first one I made, but I like it. I'm going to leave it as is. And now I want to drill the hole. So I'm going to use a Jacob's chuck. And let's see, 1/4 inch drill bit. Now I'm going to drill a hole in the end. It doesn't have to be too deep, of course. Okay, I'm going to move that up right about there. I'm going to set this to the 0 mark, get the drill bit touching, and I'm going to slow it down a good bit. And there's my 1 inch mark. All right, now I could leave a foot here. See, it's almost looking like a foot anyway, and I kind of like to have that foot shape occasionally. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that. My first one did not have the little foot on it like that. Okay, the edge is nice and sharp. It's not broken anywhere. I think the width is about right. It's a little bit less in diameter than the major width right here, and a little bit more than the top width right there. I need to to kind of slant this top piece in just for looks. That's good. All right. Ready for sanding. Now I sand with 6 or 8 different grits of paper. I'll start this one I think at 150 and sand it down to about 800, maybe even 1,000. Sanding's pretty boring and I'm sure you've seen it before, so I'm going to turn off the camera now and I'll be back in a minute. The sanding is done. And now I'm going to put on a finish. And the finish I always use on these very small objects like this is just a mixture of shellac, boiled linseed oil, and alcohol to dilute the shellac somewhat. And first, I'm just going to wipe some on to make sure I get it all over. Don't worry too much about getting it down inside there. Nobody's going to be able to see. All right, that's good. Put a little more on here. And with a friction polish like this, I just put it on and you hold it on there until it gets hot. The heat is the friction part. Ouch. Yes, it's getting hot. Too hot. That is a beautiful shine. Now, I'm going to put one more coat on here. So I've got some more now. That looks good. Right. All right, I'm going to cut this off. Thin blade parting tool coming in right there. There we have it. A beautiful gloss shine on that. I'm going to use these little pink flowers. If I had red flowers, I'd use them. They seem like they would be more Christmassy, you know, but I haven't been to the craft store. Didn't want to go right now. Just going to cut off 2 little pieces of these. Now, first of all, with the hanger down there, put that on one side of the hanger. Put this one on the other side of the hanger. Okie dokie. I am just going to put a little bit of epoxy in here. It doesn't take much, of course. There's hardly any room down in that little 1/4-inch hole to hold epoxy. But there needs to be at least a little pool of it down there because I want it to embed the end of the hanger wire. That's what's going to hold it in place. And so I'm just going to drip this down in there. And probably way too much. Alright, first set of flowers going to go right there. Just trying to arrange the flowers right around the hanger to hide it. Make sure we don't have any glue slopping over the sides. The last step, of course, is to let the glue dry. The epoxy has set up now. Those flowers are not coming out. Neither is the hanger, which is kind of embedded down inside the flowers where it doesn't show. So once you hang that on a Christmas tree branch with one of those thin little wire ornament hangers, it's going to look like it's just floating there. Well, I am quite pleased with the way these Christmas tree ornaments are turning out. I'll be making quite a few of these before Christmas actually gets here. Even though it's a little early, Merry Christmas to all, and see you next video.